Mary's Church, Lambeth, was saved from demolition by being turned into a horticultural museum, now under renovation.
It's absolutely incredible to see this, because this is a potato store and you can see the bullet holes absolutely smashed away the lock.
Our eyes can see so much, up into the sky and even far into space, but often they miss what lies just beneath our feet. These hidden wonders can stay buried for years, waiting for the right moment to reveal their secrets.
An engineer who inspected the damage reportedly said it wasn't a bomb shelter, but said there could be another room down there.
I am talking about hidden vaults and secret rooms that nobody knew until now. So let's get in and see what's actually locked aside. Number 1, St. Mary's Church, Lambeth. This first secret place is the St. Mary's Church in Lambeth. This place is over 1,000 years old, and it's seen some serious history.
Mary's Church, Lambeth, was saved from demolition by being turned into a horticultural museum, now under renovation. And when workers lifted a loose slab on the floor, they expected to find nothing.
Very recently, workers were renovating the church when they lifted a loose stone on the floor. They thought they'd find, well, nothing much. But what they found shocked everyone present at the scene. It was a crypt full of coffins, and nobody had any idea it was down there. What's more incredible is that one of the coffins was marked with an archbishop's golden crown. This means what they discovered was nothing ordinary. It turns out that one of those buried here is Richard Bancroft, an archbishop who served from 1604 to 1610. He was the guy chosen by King James IV to help put together the King James Bible, which is one of the most famous books in the world. Now, the church is a horticulture museum, and with this discovery, the timing couldn't be better.
Like and subscribe right now, and you'll have amazing luck for the rest of the week.
The church itself was really intriguing from the beginning, and now this find just adds even more intrigue to the place. Sometimes we don't realize the biggest finds are right under our feet. Number 2, secret 1800s bank vault. Bridge House is the home of George Quayle, right on the edge of Castletown Harbor, which was built in 1801. But this place holds some secrets that go far beyond its beautiful architecture. Banker, politician, militia leader, and inventor Quayle had his hands in everything. He even built the Isle of Man's first bank. His handiwork can be seen in the building next door, now the Nautical Museum, which he filled with secret compartments and spring-loaded doors. He even built a replica of an 18th century ship's stern cabin inside, but the most bizarre discovery happened years later. In 1935, an 18th century schooner, the Wrigley Yacht, was found bricked up in the basement and forgotten since Quayle's death. You can still see the walled-up harbor access. Anyone can recognize how Quayle's vault for the bank was as eccentric as he was. He built a hidden, fortified chamber that even modern-day treasure hunters would struggle to open.
That he designed and built all this himself. He wouldn't want a carpenter in here doing it who might reveal the secrets around the town and compromise the security of the vault.
The vault can be accessed from an ordinary-looking first-floor room, and it can only be reached by going through a series of trapdoors, steep steps, and a maze-like design built like a fortress. The vault is reinforced with heavy lintels that are similar to the structure of Castle Rushen. This makes the vault nearly impenetrable. Even if you made it to the door, a massive iron bar blocked your way. Quayle created a truly clever mechanism to open it. A cannonball dropped into a hole upstairs would roll through hidden tubes and trigger weights and pulleys to lift the bar and unlock the door. What a shame more isn't being done to preserve such a brilliant vault mechanism. Quayle was clearly an incredible man who was ahead of his time. Number 3, Munich's Hidden Tunnel. Underneath Munich lies an astonishing network of tunnels and bunkers that will leave you in awe. These tunnels once held thousands of stolen art pieces that was a part of Hitler's plundered collection, but they have remained nearly untouched since 1945. The art pieces kept here were actually destined for his personal gallery, where they would be protected from the bombs falling down. It's known that about 7,000 paintings once filled these rooms. By early 1945, around 700 valuable paintings were still down here, but all the pieces vanished without a trace in the chaos of the war's end. The site has now turned into a music and theater school. The school's chancellor, Dr. Krauer, has granted historians and investigators access to the underground labyrinth to search for clues about what happened to the missing art. Many of them find signs of looting, like bullet holes and locked doors, and old potato cellars broken into by starving locals as the war ended and the guards fled.
It's absolutely incredible to see this, because this is a potato store and you can see the bullet holes absolutely smashed away the lock. These are made by local civilians in Munich, and they're just desperate to get their hands on the potatoes in here. They're so hungry.
A painting once stored here was tracked down to a private owner in Munich. Turns out, he quietly sold it to Berlin's National Gallery in the 1960s. And since the tunnels no longer remain secure, it's possible that locals took some of the art during those desperate final days. Number 4, vault discovered deep underground. Now, these hidden tunnels you're going to look at will leave you in deep astonishment, for they remained untouched for years. The space around is truly vast and eerie. Once inside, you will see old mining equipment and rusted pumps scattered about alongside strange remnants like hairbrushes and children's toys. The most fascinating things about these tunnels are the twists and turns and abruptly ending paths. The flickering flashlights throughout create truly horrific scenes and a spooky atmosphere. Some of the areas are flooded that look more like underground pools and feature weird markings and remnants of old equipment. Number 5, a secret room at the abandoned convent. In this video, you can see a group of explorers going through a historic building when they come across a mysterious hidden room. They were casually moving around the house to look for something intriguing when they entered a room having one wall made of wooden planks. Things do really get interesting from here onwards as they spot the faint outline of a room through cracks in the wall. The men got excited by the find, and as they worked to remove planks, it revealed a hidden doorway. They opened the door, and can you guess what? There was a secret wallpapered room behind it with religious artwork on the walls, including an image of the Holy Family.
So it's the Saint family. The Saint of Family. Wow.
The room appears to have been untouched for years, possibly dating back to the 18th century. They found remnants like old furniture there that indicate it might have been used to store valuable. The hidden door, the way it's built, the print, the historical significance. Everything about this room is truly thought-provoking. That secret room really needs to be preserved, and if any of the nuns are still alive, it might be worth talking with them to see what they know of the secret room. Number 6, London's secret underground. You might have seen most of London, but do you really think you did? Because there's lots of it hidden deep underground that many of you might know nothing about. In this footage, we can see a group of explorers on a journey to explore this apparently hidden underground tunnel in London. They first descend their ladder into a dark, damp chamber and see extensive passageways, ventilation holes, and tunnels. What's more interesting is that the middle of the main pathway is flooded, but the sides are walkable. As you go around, you will see many rooms, some of which feature concrete-capped spiral staircase. There's also a chamber that opens out partially to surface. The men continued exploring when they came across some weird areas with rotting wood and slimy walls. The most impressive part is the fact that the entire place was built with hand-laid brick. Finally, they reach this one room that identifies as coal vaults, and they read other labels like engine chamber, boiler pit, and sump pump well. That's where we get to know why this tunnel has been here all this time. Number 7, secret room in 800-year-old Johnstown Castle. Sometimes routine repairs lead to huge discovery, even when nobody has a clue. Something similar happened at Johnstown Castle in Ireland, where workers were set to remove an old, ignored window for a basic refurbishment. As they were working over it, they stumbled upon something completely unexpected. Behind that window, they found a hidden red brick archway that was sealed up with concrete blocks likely from the 1950s. This would make anyone curious, and so did they.
We gained access through one of the windows to discover a red bricked arch opening that was blocked up with some modern concrete blocks.
The workers carefully knocked through the wall to see where they were. There they found a long, hidden circular room that was about 3 meters wide and shut off from the rest of the castle for who knows how long. This castle already holds a lot of mysteries, like an old servant's tunnel and a hidden door between the library and the dining room. And now, this secret room is just another addition to many mysteries. But nobody knows what this room is for. What do you think? Could there be more hidden rooms out there? Number 8. Secret WW2 tunnel. Among the list of impressive hidden finds is this massive tunnel system that is carved out all by hand. This is more like an underground fortress with tunnels, fortified rooms, and machine gun posts. It appears to be a headquarters facility intended to be immune to Allied bombing. All these efforts because Hitler had lost this area and vowed never to lose it again. So he decided to create an impenetrable stronghold that could withstand any attack. What's mesmerizing is that those huge ventilation shafts, storage rooms, and leftover German machinery are still there. These tunnels were dug out by Soviet prisoners of war to carve out space for German troops to hide and survive.
This is insane. It is so big. It is so big. Look at that. And then you suddenly come to more sinks. And all of this has been built later to become a post-war refuge.
Even after the war, parts of this bunker were turned into a civilian shelter with added sinks, toilets, and ventilation systems, so locals could hide there during emergency. Oh wait, there's more. There's another hidden bunker that is tucked away in the forest and holds strange electrical equipment and old communication device. It's more of a command center for secret plans and transmission. The time and manpower to build them must have been horrific. Number 9, secret room, Underhouse. What would it feel like to be woken up in the middle of the night by a loud crash to find out that your garage floor has vanished?
Something has been lurking underneath one family's garage the whole time they've been living there.
While this truly sounds horrific, it happened to the Bush family in Idaho. One fine night, their garage floor suddenly collapsed, and what they found was a hidden room underneath that had been there all along, and they didn't know. On checking, they found lots of strange objects like shelves, old toys, a handbag, even mail. It won't be wrong to say that the room felt like someone left it frozen in place. While there were different opinions, many thought it was a bomb shelter. But an engineer inspected the place and denied the opinion. What was this room really used for? Who put those belongings there, and why? And why is it all sealed away? All this still remains a mystery. Number 10, Convent with cells. If you think you have seen everything, then you need to turn a corner because there's another surprise. You need to look into this convent where you will find about 40 cells in total. From what we know, this place was occupied by nuns. This would make a perfect hostel, or a mental asylum you choose. I mean, there wouldn't need to do much, not even change out the fixtures. Just paint the walls and fit with beds and good to go. The interesting part is that each cell is preserved with its original wooden doors, locks, and faded wallpaper. There was even a hidden room filled with vintage stuff, like shelves of old designs, blueprints, and antique sketches. When we look into the basement, it's all eerie and dimly lit, with a rusty wine rack and ancient locks on the doors.
This is the boiler room. So underground in the garden there's a huge oil tank which feeds this boiler. This boiler hasn't been turned on for years and years, so it's not ever going to be turned on ever again.
Then there's the kitchen, complete with an old fireplace and a pantry once lined with shelves for storing fruits and vegetables. Every room, nook, and cranny of this convent is carefully preserved and speaks of its masters that have lived there back in time. That's truly a great peek into history. Number 11, troubleshooting a repair project, and this guy finds a secret room in his house and what is in it. But how did he find out that there was a secret room in his house? Well, there's been this really strange smell in his house, which was coming from the main floor and just kept getting worse. He had checked everywhere, but found nothing. So he decided to take one last shot at figuring this out before calling in a plumber with a camera to check the sewer pipes. As he approached the crawlspace opening, he caught the whiff of that smell, and it intensified. So he grabbed the ladder to find out what was happening. When he shined his flashlight around, he saw some old insulation hanging down from the ducts, and there was definitely some moisture around. That must be part of the problem. But wait, what's that? There is an entire basement area under his house that he did not even know about. Now, this is insane. Who knew a weird smell could lead to a whole new room? Number 12, nuclear bunker under a bungalow. In this video, you see what looks like a simple-looking bungalow, but what lies under this was once a top-secret government bunker. When Russia tested its first nuclear bomb in 1949, these bunkers were repurposed for the Cold War. The electronics inside were upgraded after they realized that the UK's air defense couldn't detect Soviet bombers. So, big changes were made. Now, let's take a look inside. Once you are inside, you will be greeted by what looks like an old office space. Furniture is scattered around, and it feels like time has stood still down here. You can still see old tables and speakers, remnants of a time when this place was bustling with activity. And when you walk further into the bunker now, the atmosphere is a little eerie, but it's just the echo of our own voice. This place is made of thick concrete, so everything echoes. As you explore, you will find tunnels stretching on and on. This place was definitely built to withstand a lot. In one section, you can find the water supply system, still intact. They even blocked the air vents and sealed the doors to keep the smells from escaping. Well, overall, it's incredible to see how well preserved this bunker is. The layers of security and the engineering that went into it show how serious they were about protecting the people who worked there. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm definitely not looking at bungalows the same way anymore. Number 13, ancient skeletons found in Pompei ruin. What would it be like to be trapped in history? These two men from Pompei show us exactly that, nearly 2,000 years later. Archaeologists digging in Pompei recently made an amazing find: the remains of two men who died during the eruption of Mount Vesuvius.
When nearby Mount Vesuvius erupted,
The volcano spewed thick layers of ash across the cities, encasing their unfortunate inhabitants for nearly 2,000 years.
Their bodies were discovered under a staircase in a villa. Scientists made casts of their skeletons to better understand who they were. It's believed one man was likely wealthy, in his 30s or 40s, while the other was younger, around 18 to 25, and might have been a servant or even enslaved. Both men were wearing tunics, probably made of wool. Pompei and nearby Herculaneum were wiped out in 79 AD when Mount Vesuvius bursted, covering the cities in ash. This ash acted like a time capsule, preserving everything for nearly 2,000 years. But thanks to this, archaeologists have been discovering clues about how people lived and died during Roman time. The cities still have more secrets to give up, and researchers are still digging to learn more. It's like time stood still, and we're just now cracking open the story. Number 14, sealed Japanese tunnel discovered at Clark Airbase. Now, check out this amazing find at Clark Airbase. A group of explorers have found a hidden Japanese tunnel from World War II. What's under this historic spot is super interesting and a bit creepy. Now, as the explorers get to work, they focus on the target side of the tunnel. You can see them carefully clearing the loose soil, but if you look closely at the wall, right under it is where they believe the entrance to the tunnel is located. It looks like they're all set to head inside, but once they do, they discover something truly extraordinary. Well, when they checked out the area, they found some shells that were fired here but didn't go off.
And we found it here among the debris.
So it would be just outside the...
Yes, yes. Oh, here. Here, it's a solid, it's quite heavy.
There's also a piece of shrapnel stuck in the wall, surrounded by soft volcanic ash, showing just how intense the fighting was. But as they keep looking around, they discover even more fragments. The explorers think the explosions were meant to make the entrance bigger, so it would be easier for people to get in. While digging, they find all sorts of things, like an unknown object and another piece of shrapnel. But the most touching find is human remains that have been left untouched for many years. Can you believe they actually found human remains? That's some heavy stuff. Number 15. What's that beneath the famous hotel basement? What if I tell you there's a hidden world under one of the most famous hotels? It's like stepping into a scene from a medieval fairy tale. Just check out this cool hatch. You might be curious about what's behind it. This incredible mine has been tucked away since the late 1800s. But when you get inside, you find these giant stone pillars. They're super sturdy, and the smooth ceiling makes the place feel grand. And when you turn left, it's like stepping into a horror movie. The vibe here is totally different from anywhere else. There is a weird smell like oil, which will definitely make you wonder, what were the workers doing here all those years ago? But just when you think you have seen it all, you find a hat. The top is made of red brick, and under this is a heavy metal door.
This appears to be a dead end up here. This is so strange. It is a dead end, but it's a concrete wall.
What could it open? Well, this could be the key to finding all the secrets of this amazing place. What do you think? Number 16, secret passage down a well. A YouTuber, Chill Bill, was exploring this old well when he found a dead pigeon down there. But when he went down, he found something amazing. Right at ground level, there's a tunnel that goes straight under the house. It seems to lead to a secret room because there's no other way to reach that dark space at the end. How did he find it? Well, he was trying to film the tunnel, but he couldn't see what he was doing, so he moved the camera around to get a better angle. What happened next was completely unexpected. When he looked closely, he spotted the secret passage. At the very end, there was a dark area that connected to the house, but there's no way to get to that part from inside the house itself. So it's pretty clear that there's a secret room down there, and it's just waiting for us to find its mystery. And yes, this secret passage could lead to something incredible, and I also can't wait to see its mystery. Number 17, German WW2 underground complex. Now, for this one, I will take you on an exciting adventure. But what are we visiting? A place known as the Old Karen Position. This underground complex hasn't seen the light of day since World War II, which is quite remarkable. As you enter, you can see the difference between the space with light and without. Losing power down here would definitely not be a good idea. Now this is the area that used to manage ammunition. While it's not operational anymore, it's easy to imagine how it once functioned to lift supplies. This was also where orders would be communicated to the crew inside. So far, the bunker seems to be sealed off with steel doors everywhere, and there are old light switches that probably don't work anymore. But as you continue, you will find water flooding a channel on. This spot might have been where a German soldier once flipped a light switch. I know it's hard not to imagine what it was like during the war, with hundreds of German soldiers running around, preparing for whatever lay ahead. It's quite an adventure exploring this hidden piece of history, don't you think? Number 18, hidden room in 122-year-old Georgia Farmhouse. This one was an adventure of Robert, a YouTuber who went to a 122-year-old farmhouse. As he went inside, he was greeted by a world of history. But what struck him the most was a hole in the wall. However, when he looked closer, he realized it led to a small storage room that had been sealed off. Curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to check under the house. It rests on sturdy pillars, a detail that adds to its charm. Down there, he found original brick and rock supports, which were signs of solid construction from long ago. Among the discoveries was a curious piece that looked like part of a lightning rod. The original flooring, made of wide boards, was another impressive find. It reminded him of the care and quality that went into building the home. Well, if you ever get a chance to check out a place like this, do it. You won't regret it. Number 19, family discovers gold mine under home, a 5-foot hole in the basement. But what if it's not just a sinkhole? A woman was digging out her Christmas decorations from the basement when she found something surprising, a 5-foot hole. This hole had swallowed one of the brick pillars that helped hold up several rooms in her house. Since then, experts have come by to check it out and guess what it might be. None of them think it's just a regular sinkhole. A geologist believes it could be an old entrance to a gold mine from the 1800s.
Right downtown where there were several gold mines in Charlotte.
At first, the excitement over this historic find was huge, but it didn't last long. Now, they're trying to figure out what to do about it. The couple had to quickly put in a temporary support beam to hold up the house. At first, every time they heard the house creak, they'd brace themselves thinking, is this it? Is the house going to fall? But now they're trying to laugh it off, but it could get serious really soon. Number 20, slave room, found in the ancient Roman city of Pompei. Now, this last one is about archaeologists in Pompei, Italy, who discovered a room that belonged to slaves and was preserved under lava from the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. This find gives us a rare look into the lives of a group of people who are often overlooked in history. Most historical records come from the wealthy and powerful, but this room shows what life was like for those at the bottom of the social ladder, slaves and servants.
The room was discovered after police stumbled across illegal tunnels dug by alleged looters in 2017.
The room they found is in great condition and is thought to be a bedroom for a small family of slaves. Inside, there are 2 beds for adults and a smaller bed for a child. The discovery happened when police found illegal tunnels that looters had dug back in 2017. Archaeologists also found the skeletons of 2 people, a wealthy man and his male slave, who was killed by volcanic ash while trying to escape during the eruption. These discoveries really bring history to light. It's like we're getting a peek into the everyday reality of people we never hear of. And that was it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get all our videos on time. Until next time.